Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shivasa Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Puja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. This Kamal Lochan Prabhu is scheduled for class, but we 4 or 3 are only on call, so you can wait. Yeah, Prabhuji is here. Yeah.
Okay. Vanchakalpatrubhisya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Today's quote on chanting by His Grace Mahatma Das Prabhuji. The Maha Mantra is a sound vibration of Krishna's love coming to us. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I am Pooja from Sydney. May I know who have joined today?
Hare Krishna, Puja Mataji, and all the assembled devotees. Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamarasika Devidasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Nikunjara Sadas from Maryland.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji from Mumbai, and today Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, Verse 32. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please take over the call.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikim. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, text number 32. Katamahapi na venaha syat pancha nam purusham prati tasmat kenapi upayena manaha krishne niveshayet. Katamo binavena syat panchanam purusham prati tasmat kenapyupayena manaha krishne niveshayet. Katamo binavena syat panchanam purusham prati tasmat kenapyupayena mana krishne niveshayet. Word meaning: Katamaha api, anyone, na, not, Venaha, the atheistic king Vena, Syat, would adopt, Panchanam, of the five, Purusham, the supreme personality of Godhead, Prati, in regard to. Tasmat, therefore, Kenapi, by any, Upayena means Manaha, the mind, Krishna, in Krishna, Niveshayet, one should fix. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Somehow or other, one must consider the form of Krishna very seriously. Then, by one of the five different processes mentioned above, one can return home back to Godhead. Atheists like Vena, however, being unable to think of Krishna's form in any of these five ways, cannot attain salvation. Therefore, one must somehow think of Krishna, whether in a friendly way or inimically. Purport: Impersonalists and atheists always try to circumvent the form of Krishna. Great politicians and philosophers of the modern age even tried to banish Krishna from Bhagavad Gita. Consequently, for them, there is no salvation. But Krishna's enemy, see, here is Krishna, my enemy. I have to kill him. They think of Krishna in his actual form and thus attain salvation. Devotees, therefore, who constantly think of Krishna's form are certainly liberated. The only business of the Mayavadi atheists is to make Krishna formless. And consequently, because of this severe offense at the lotus feet of Krishna, they cannot expect salvation. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur says in this connection, Tena Shishupaladi Bhinnaha Pratikula Bhavam Idurshur Yena Iva Narakam Yaditi Bhavaha. Except for Shishupal, those who go against the regulative principles cannot attain salvation and surely destined for hellish life. The regulative principle is that one must always think of Krishna, whether as a friend or enemy. Om Ajnana-virandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanmitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganarita Shvishakanmitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So very interesting session going on. Very important session too. This section is very important, and I'll try to dwell into some technicalities of this particular section. We all know in the seventh canto we've been hearing for the past few verses that Narada is speaking these verses. Why did he speak these verses? Because Yudhishthir Maharaj, he asked this question. The question was, how is it so, Shishupal and Dantavakra, they both blaspheme the Lord? And for such blasphemy, tongues should have been attacked by leprosy, or they would have gone to hell. Why is it so that neither they got leprosy in the tongue, nor they went to hell? Asakrita Vishnum yad Brahma Param Avyayam. He is Supreme Lord Krishna. He is Brahma Param Avyayam. He is indestructible Lord. He is Supreme Personality of God Himself. And Nandham Viveshituhu Tamaha. Because Shishupal and Dantavagra, they were so papaha, Arabhya Kalabhashanat. When he could not even speak properly, he was speaking ill. Both Dantavakra and Shishupal, especially Shishupal, was so envious of Krishna. So such people should go to hell, or they, by criticizing Krishna, their tongue should have leprosy. If there is a system or what, that if you criticize Krishna, you will go to, you will attain liberation. Well, it's astonishing to see that he obtained liberation. And on the other hand, it so happened that Vena also criticized the Lord. But Vena did not attain liberation. He went to hell. Shishupal criticized Krishna. Shishupal attained liberation, Saujya Mukti. Vena criticized Krishna. He went to hell. Why is it so? Then Narada explains the point. You see, praise and honor is actually lack of discrimination of self. Somebody praises you, become happy. Somebody criticizes you, become unhappy because of lack of spiritual knowledge. Actually, all these things, I am insulted, so I'll kill the enemy. He's praising me, he's my friend, so I'll protect him. Is all Maya Kritaha. They're all made up of Maya. They're all nothing but different forms of ignorance. Now, a self-realized soul himself is not affected by neither criticism nor death, nor praise. He is beyond all dvandvas. If that is the case, what to speak of Krishna? He is not affected by it. Now, Shishupal, why did he attain liberation? Because of his being so much absorbed in Krishna. That is why Tasmad Vairana Bandena Nirvairyena Bhayenava Snehat Kamenava Vinjat Katanchin Nekshate Pratak. Either by continuous enmity or by favorable relationship or by conjugal feelings. Tasmad Vaira Anubandha Nirvairya Bhaya Snehat Kama. Somehow or the other you engage your relationship with the Lord. Somehow or the other you should be connected to the Lord. That is most important. Now, he gives an example. How was Shishupal so much absorbed? Because it is there even in this world we experience. That the person whom you hate, you think about him most than the person whom you love the most. Somebody criticized you, somebody spoke ill about you. Yeah, you become so affected that you start showing anger on the person whom you love also. You come home and you start becoming angry on your husband only. He loves you. You also love him. But you think of the person who criticized you. So the absorption of the mind is naturally in a person whom you hate. Then you will love. The absorption in the thoughts of Krishna by enmity towards him is actually far intense than anything. So now here what happened was Shishupal criticized Krishna. So what happened? So much of sin he incurred by criticizing Krishna. On the other hand, when he criticized Krishna, dil se gali diya, means he was so absorbed when he was criticizing Krishna, when he was insulting Krishna. So his absorption in Krishna created the piety by which the sin was destroyed and it got neutralized. Then what happened? He attained Sauja Mukti. But on the other hand, you have Vena. Vena simply criticized Krishna, but he was not absorbed in Krishna. That is why he only created the sin for which he had to go to hell. That is why the absorbing your mind in the Lord in these ways. How? Kama, Deshat, Bhayat, Snehat, Yatha, Bhagavateshware, Manah, Avesha, Tadagam, Hitva, Bahavaha, Tadgatim, Gata. Bahavaha, many people attain the Lord by absorption. Aveshya, Mana Aveshya, very important. 30th verse is one word called Mana Aveshya. So what is important is your absorption. How much you are absorbed. So all those people, all those modes, favorable and unfavorable, all attained the Lord. Of course, we should know that these two, these Desha, Bhaya, these two should be totally rejected because they are pratikul, they are not anupul, not devotion. So giving up the absorption in the Lord, giving up absorption in the Lord based on hatred is actually having absorption in the Lord out of hatred is not the same as the gopis absorbed in love for Krishna. Because gopis absorption in Krishna is to for his pleasure, anukula. Sushruba's absorption is pratikula. It is not for pleasing Krishna. But still both are absorbed. Absorption is there. Then somebody may say, why is it so that all things are kept in the same category in one verse? It is just to give you the Kaumuttika Nyaya, means the Nyaya of comparison, Kimuta. So let us go to 10th canto now. 10th canto, Rasa Panchadhyayi. So when Krishna played the flute standing under a banyan tree, Vamshi Vatatatastitaha. When he played the flute, all the gopis just ran and came. Shamyagitam Tadanangavardhanam. Love in the heart of the gopis raised to such an extent they were Krishna Grihita Manasaha. Yantritashaya. As it like Krishna ghost has entered their mind, just ran towards Krishna. So when when Sukadeva Goswami described how the gopis just gave up Jagruhu Gunamaindeham, some gopis were antarkataha, they were completely blocked by the husbands in their house. They gave up their bodies and then attained Krishna. When Sukadeva Goswami is speaking like this, at the back, there were some people who were hearing, and then there were some Mayavadis, the Brahmavadis, the yogis. They thought, how is it? These gopis attained such a great position. These ladies, they have no idea who is God. They have never studied Upanishads. They have not done any tapasya. How is it that these people got their salvation? They attained this kind of vairagya. They attained Krishna. The Parikshit Maharaj knew that some people have this question in their mind. They're having some doubt. So Parikshit Maharaj asked this question that how did these gopis who are gunapravavo paramams, those who are bound by the modes of nature, they could attain such a great position of just giving up everything? How is it possible? Krishnam vidu param kantam natu brahmataya mune. Parikshit Maharaj asked this question. They know Krishna as Kanta, their lover. Gopis know Krishna as his lover, as their lover. Natu brahmataya mune. They don't know that he is God. How did these gopis get that position of Vairagya? Because Guda Pravaho Paramahams, they are bound by the modes of material modes. Then hearing these things, Sukadeva Goswami became very angry. When he heard that gopis are bound by the modes of nature, actually he became angry on others. He knew very well Parikshit Maharaj has no problem. He has total understanding of the greatness of the gopis. But they just came running to meet Krishna. Parikshit Maharaj had no doubt. But to clear the doubt of people who are there behind him and others who are going to read this Rasa Panchadhyaya in future, Bhagavatam in future, to get them proper understanding of the highest level of prema which the gopis have to Krishna. Externally, Sukadeva Goswami became angry and told, Uktam purastad etatte chaitya siddhimetagata dishanna pirishigesham kimata dokshaja priya. So, dishanna pirishigesham Uktam purastad, I have spoken to you about this before only. What is it? How Chaitya Siddhim Yatagata Dvishanna Pirishikesham. Even though Shishupal hated Krishna, Dvishanna Pirishikesham, Chaitya Siddhim Yatagata, he attained perfection, that is Saujya Mukti. Mukti attained. Of course, that Mukti is Kaivalya Narakayate, we know very well. That Mukti Shishupal attained, devotees don't want only because it's a Saujya Mukti, that is Sharira Saujya. There are two kinds of Saujya Mukti, Brahma Saujya and Sharira Saujya. Shishupal attained body of the Lord. So that is called Sharira Saujya. More dangerous than Brahma Saujya. So then Sukadeva Goswami tells, if Shishupal, who had enviousness for Krishna, could attain the position of liberation, Kimuta Dokshaja Priya, then what to speak of these gopis who are having love for Krishna? What will be their position? That is why in this verse, 30th verse, Kama Dveshad Bhayat Snehad Yatha Bhagavateshware. So this, he has put Bhaya and Dvesha among the other three of Kama, Sneha and Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti. It is to bring about Kaimuttik Nai. If a person like Kamsa, by being absorbed in Krishna, if a person like Shishupal being absorbed in Krishna can attain such a high perfection, then what to speak of those who are connected to Krishna out of lust, spiritual lust, gopis? For absorbed in Krishna out of spiritual lust, out of lust. What to speak of them? It is not that, oh, you can also do bhajan following the footsteps of Shishupal, following the footsteps of Kamsa. You can do bhajan. That is also pure devotion. No, it's not for that purpose. That is why Gopyak Kamat Bhayat Kamso. Just to give an example for all the 5 kinds of bhakti, 5 kinds of absorptions. I'll not use the word bhakti, 5 kinds of absorptions. So Gopyak Kamat Bhayat Kamso. Dveshasthedhyadayo nipa sambandha drishnaya sneha gyuyam bhaktya vibho. Gopis worshipped Krishna out of their intense hankering to satisfy the senses of Krishna. So Krishna has intense hankering to satisfy his senses by associating, by doing ras with the gopis. So the sambandha between Krishna and Gopi, Gopi and Krishna, gopis and Krishna is kamat, kama. Of course, it is not the kama of this world, which is like iron. It is the kama of the spiritual world. It is actually as prema. So though it is called prema, but the gopis, the prema which the gopis have for Krishna is actually kama. But not to confuse the kama of this world. Gopyat kamat bhayat kamso. Kamsa, he was absorbed in Krishna because of bhaya. 24 hours is thinking, when Krishna is going to come, he's going to kill me, he's going to kill me. When he was eating, he thought Krishna will come and kill me. Sleeping, just sleeps, immediately wakes up and thinks Krishna may come and kill me. He was so absorbed in Krishna. Just imagine. Mayat kamso dveshyat chedyadayo nripa. Dvesha chedyadayaha Chedi Raja, son of Chedi Raja, the king of Chedi kingdom is Shishupal. Veshas Chedyadayo Nripa. Shishupal, they are absorbed in Krishna out of excessive enviousness. Sambandha Krishnayaha. Sambandhat means considering Krishna as son, brother, cousin, out of full affection, like friend, like that. Vrishnis had the sambandha. Stehad Yuyam. Yuyam means you, Yudhishthir, etc., etc. Yudhishthir and all. He is speaking Yudhishthir, all Pandavas. You had sneha for Krishna, affection for Krishna. There was no sambandha. And Bhaktya Vayam, Are, we are Narada. Narada says Vayam means people like us, people like me, people like us means Narada and all. They are doing sadhana bhakti. They are doing sadhana bhakti. Now, this verse, I'm actually talking about 31st verse only, because this verse becomes a basis of a very important philosophical point, or very important process for which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. The process of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exclusively came to give us Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. He thought that Krishna thought in the spiritual world, the whole world is drowned in my Aishwarya performing Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And by Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, they develop Bhava. And then with that Bhava, they develop the Prema, which qualifies them to go to Vaikuntha. But the world doesn't know my sweetness. Vrajabhav, this Vrajadham can only be attained by those who follow in the footsteps of the Vrajavasis. So I had to give them Raganuga Bhakti, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, which actually starts after Nishta. So Krishna thought like that and gave us Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gave us the bhakti. What is the bhakti Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us? It is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Raganuga means what? Following the footsteps of those who are Nitya Siddha, Ragatmika Bhaktas. That means Vrajavasis. Following the footsteps of the Vrajavasis who are known as Ragatmika Bhaktas is known as Raganuga Bhakti. That means when you follow in the footsteps of Yashoda, Rupa Manjari, Lalita Sakhi, then you attain that particular bhava that becomes Raga Anuga Bhakti. That means those who follow in the footsteps of the Ragatmika Bhaktas or Vrajavasis is known as Raga Anuga Bhakti. Now the question arose, how many kinds of Raga Anuga Bhakti are there? There are two kinds of Raganuga Bhakti. One is known as Sambandhanuga, other is known as Kamanuga. Because there are two kinds of devotees in Raja. There are Sambandharupa, Kamarupa. Sambandharupa, Kamarupa. Important to know because this prasanga has come, that is why I am telling all these things directly from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Because this verse has been analyzed by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Gopya Kamat Bhayatkam So Dveshaschaityaadayo Nipa Sambandha Drishnaya Sneha Juyam Bhaktya Vayam Vibho. By analyzing this verse, you see, Bhayat Kamso, this cannot be Raga, it cannot be Bhakti at all, Shuddha Bhakti at all, remove that. Dveshas Chedyadaya, that is not Bhakti only, Shuddha Bhakti only. Sneha Yuyam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We can't hear you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, you're able to hear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We can
Prabhuji.
hear.
So, Bhayat Kamsa is not Bhakti. By fear performing Bhakti is not Shuddha Bhakti. That is removed. Shishupal, that is also removed. Now, Yuyam, new people, that means Pandavas. These 5 Pandavas, they are not Brajavasis. So, by following the footsteps of the Pandavas, you don't go to Braja. So, that is also removed because that cannot be Raganuga Bhakti. Now, Narada and all, they are practicing sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi sadhana. It is not Raganuga. So in this verse, that is the 31st verse, 2 are left over now. So if you remove Kamsa, then Dvesha, that is Shishupal, you remove that is Sneha Yuyam, that is Yudhishthir and all, Sneha, and Bhaktya Vayam, that is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Narada says, I attain perfection by Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, not Raganuga. If you remove these 4, only 2 are left. 2 words are left. That is Kama, Gopya Kamat, Sambandha Vrishnaya. Only 2 are left. So, based on these words, Rupa Goswami says there are 2 kinds of Raganuga Bhakti. One is known as Sambandhanuga, other is known as Kamanuga. Sambandhanuga and Kamanuga, these are the 2 kinds of Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti. Because there are 2 kinds of Ragatmika Bhaktas. So this is how this works, becomes the basis of establishing this very important aspect of the Gaudiya philosophy. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, that is Raga Marga, Raga Bhakti. So Srila Rupa Goswami says, Anukulya viparyat syat bhitihi dveshuhu dvesho parahato. Because the fear and hatred are not favorable, they are rejected as the modes of bhakti. Affection, sneha of the Pandavas, it means friendliness, sakya, belongs to Vaidhi because sakya is predominant by veneration. If sneha means prema, then it's sadhana bhakti, then Narada, and that is the mode. So what is left? There are only 2 words which are left. That is Kama and Sambandha. Somebody may say, then what is this Kamanuga Bhakti? Kamanuga, Kamarupa. What is this? That is what following the footsteps of gopis means. Following the footsteps of the gopis is being described. What is the meaning of following the footsteps of the gopis? It means the gopis, they are following, they are served by manjaris. These manjaris, especially Rupa Manjari appears, Rupa Goswami, and all the Goswamis are manjaris. They have written so much of literature. So the acharyas who actually come in the form of the manjaris who come in the form of acharyas, when we read the literature and follow what they say, then we are actually following the footsteps of the gopis. Now Rupa Goswami explains what is Kamanuga. Tatra Kamarupa Sa Kamarupa Sambhoga Drishtam Ya Nayati Swatam Yadasyam Krishna Saukyartham Eva Kevalam Udyamanaha. What is the definition of Kamarupa Ragatmika Bhakti? That type of bhakti with which full absorption in the beloved is called Kamarupa Bhakti, which produces a intrinsic thirst, Trishna, for a conjugal relationship with the Lord. It is called Bhakti. This condition arises only in the heart of the gopis. Why you call it Bhakti then? It is called Bhakti because in that condition there is only eagerness for giving pleasure to Krishna. Krishna Saukyartham, only for the purpose of giving pleasure to Krishna. Gopis, they want to enjoy with Krishna because for giving enjoyment to Krishna. So in this way, going further, Rupa Goswami says, Iyam tu Rajadevishu Suprasiddha Virajate. The example for this Kamarupa Bhaktas are gopis, Vrajadevishu, Suprasiddha, they are very famous. Virajate, they are being established for this particular, for this kind of bhakti. Asam prema visheshoyam praptaha kam api madhurim. They have a particular type of prema which has a special sweetness. And then tat krida nidhanatvat kama ityuchate budaihi. This is called kama by vice because it is the cause of various enormous actions. Krida, rasa keri, and nikunja kridas of Radha and Krishna and with the gopis. And that is kama ityuchate. How do you understand this? In the Gopi Gitam, the last verse of the Gopi Gitam says, the gopis say, Yatte sujata charanam buruham staneshu vitashane priyatadi mahis karkasheshu tenatavi matasit tat vitade naktim swit urpadibir brahmatide bhavadayushamnaha. So the gopis, they say, oh Lord, Krishna, you're running around in the forest. You left us and went. We are suffering in separation from you, but we are not bothered about our suffering. But we are bothered when you are dancing with us. You're not wearing any chappals. You just walked. This is forest. The forest, there are thorns, there are pebbles, there are stones. When you're walking barefoot, then it'll pain your feet. So, Krishna, for your pleasure, we are crying. To give you sukha, we are crying. We cannot tolerate that you are getting pain because you are walking in the forest. Thinking of that, your feet may be pierced with the thorns and you may feel the pain. Thinking of that pain, we are pained. Our pain is that. Our suffering is that. That is why, Yatte Sujata, your lotus feet are very soft. Sujata, Charanam Buruham. What you should do with your lotus feet? Staneshu. You keep your lotus feet on our breasts. But we become so afraid that our breasts are so hard. Maybe when you keep your feet on our breast, you may be pained because our hard breasts are going to give pain to your feet. That is why Pita, Shane, keep them very, very softly, very slowly. Because Dadi Mahi Karkasheshu Tena Tavi Matasi Tat Vitate Nakim Swit Kurpa Dibir Bhamati Kurpa Dibir Bhamati Dir Bhavada Ayusham Naha. Our life rests only in you. Our minds and therefore are filled with anxiety that your tender feet may be wounded by the pebbles. Now, Rupa Goswami further says that the word Kamarupa actually should not be misunderstood by unscrupulous people. That is why another nice example is given. Premaiva Goparama Ramanam Kamaitjagamat Pratan. What is the Kamarova Bhakti of the Gopis has become famous simply as Prema. So Rupa Goswami, he bases the entire explanation on Raga Raga Bhakti based on this particular verse. That is the 31st verse. Gopya Kama Bhayat Kamso. This verse. So we're coming back to today's verse, which is a very interesting verse, which actually concludes this section. The question raised by Yudhishthir Maharaj. Why did Vena, why he did not go back from go to attain, why did he not attain liberation? Why he went to hell? Why he went to Shishupal, he attained liberation by criticizing Krishna. Whereas Vena went to hell by criticizing Krishna. What was the difference between Shishupal's criticism and Vena's criticism? That this difference was Vena was not absorbed in Krishna while criticizing Krishna. Whereas Shishupal was absorbed. That is why Vena was not in any of these categories, any of these 5 categories. That is why Katamo Pina Veda Syat, today's verse. Panchamam Purusham Brati. He did not belong to any of these categories. Tasmat Kena Pipayena Manakrishna Niveshet. Tasmat, that is why. Kena Pipayena, by hook or crook, engross your mind in Krishna, be absorbed in Krishna. Become completely absorbed in Krishna. That is the whole purpose of your life. So answering this question by Yudhishthira Maharaj, why Vena did not attain liberation, why he went to hell, this verse says, some person will not be counted among these 5 modes previously mentioned in relation to the Lord because of not being suitable in these modes. Some are not like gopis. They seem to be like gopis, like Kubja. Kubja also had lust for Krishna, but the intention was her own satisfaction. Whereas gopis' lust for Krishna was Krishna's for Krishna's satisfaction. Somebody may be afraid of Krishna, but they are not like Kamsa. Because when Kamsa's fear of Krishna was so much that he was totally absorbed. He just could not do any activity. Eating, sleeping, he could not do it all. So just because somebody is afraid of Krishna cannot be compared to Kamsa, because Kamsa's fear made him so absorbed in Krishna. And just because somebody hates Krishna cannot be compared to Shishupal, because when Shishupal hated Krishna, he was totally absorbed in Krishna to such an extent, he just could not think of anything else. And somebody maybe like Vrishnis having some relationship. Sambandha anuga means connection, like Yashoda. By following the footsteps of Yashoda, you go to Vraja, but attain Vatsalya. By following the footsteps of the Sakas of Krishna, you attain Vraja, but become a Saka of Krishna. By following the footsteps of the gopis, that is when something special. That is why Kamanuga and Sambandhanuga both are there. Here, just because somebody has Sambandha for Krishna, that doesn't mean they can be counted as Nanda Maharaj Yashoda. Neither we find that Narada, Vena was like Narada. So, none of the above were performed by Vena. So that is why he did not attain liberation. Rather, he went to hell because he criticized the Lord. That is why one should concentrate on Krishna with a favorable mood. Tasmat means kena upayana. Kena, in whatever upaya. What does it mean? Favorable upaya. Kena upayana. Mana Krishna nimeshe. It is this word kena upayana doesn't mean that you can follow the footsteps of Shishupal or Kamsa. No, remove these two. Kena upayana. Find some upaya. Any of these method given apart from Kamsa and Shishupal. What are the upayas? Gopya Kamat or Sambandha Drishtaya or Bhaktya Sneha Yuyam Sneha. Yudhishthira Maharaj knows Sneha Yuyam or Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti Vayam. Any of the 4, you just follow. How? Tasmat kenapyupayena manha Krishna nimeshet. Engross your mind in Krishna, that is most important. Be absorbed in Krishna. That is important. Of course, in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we completely absorb ourselves in the mood of the Brajavasis. That is why constantly we have to hear Bhagvatam, especially the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Gopya Kamat Bhyat Kamsa. Sambandha Drishtaya. So when we are engrossed in Krishna, naturally, we attain Krishna. So external activities, whatever we are doing in bhakti, the whole purpose is to be completely engrossed in Krishna. Whether it's cooking or chanting, whether in Bhagvatam or worshipping the deity, everything is meant to think of Krishna. Purpose of sadhana bhakti has been defined by a very interesting verse. It says, Smartavya sattvam Vishnu Vishmartavyo na jatchit. Sarve vidnishedasya yetayoreva kinkara. Smartavya sattvam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. You may think both are same, both are not same. One is like putting water in a pot, other is trying to stop the flow of water from the pot by fixing the holes in the pot. Always think of Krishna by chanting and hearing Bhagavatam. Never forget Krishna by serving him by our senses. Engaging our senses in serving him in active service. By doing so, all the rules and regulations, whatever you're following, the whole purpose is to think of Krishna. Somebody is doing Nirjala Ekadashi, chanting 64 rounds, 192 rounds, but he's thinking of when tomorrow morning, 6:36, when I'm going to have my food, have my prasad. What are we going to have? You're thinking of that, what is the use? So that's the purpose of sadhana bhakti. I want to ask, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us Raganuga sadhana bhakti. For the previous verse, Rupa derives taking these two words, kama and sambandha, and then establishes two kinds of ragatmika bhaktas, kama rupa, sambandha rupa. And since raganuga means following the footsteps of ragatmika bhaktas, in this way becomes two kinds of raga nuga bhakti, that is kama rupa and sambandha rupa. Of course, kama rupa is divided into two more and all. That is the subject matter of Bhakti Psalms, which can be discussed sometime else. So we stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all goes to Prabhupada. Such a nice class, enlightening, deep devotional subject matter, much far beyond the Vaidhi Bhaktis that we are practicing. Of course, we are aspiring to go first to the Raga Nuga Bhaktas, and then Ragatmikas are higher than the Raga Nugas. Is that, am I right, Prabhu?
The Raganuga Bhaktas are Nitya Siddhas. They are all directly in the spiritual world.
Okay,
They are not conditioned souls. They are Ragatmikas. Ragatmika means like Shodha, Nanda Maharaj, all the associates of Krishna. They are not belonging to our category. They are in a different category. So we follow in their footsteps. That is why we are called Anuga. Those who follow in the footsteps of Ragatmika Bhaktas are known as Raga Anugas.
Yeah. And one more question, Prabhu. Kamsa, so Kamsa was liberated, wasn't he? Yes.
Yeah, he was also attained Mukti.
Yeah.
But
Vena was so Vena's. I mean, I was doing comparison between Vena and Hiranyakashipu.
Vena went to hell.
Vena went to hell. Yes. So Vena was also declaring himself to be the Lord and told everybody to stop the sacrifice for Vishnu. And similar way, Hiranyakashipu also was here doing the similar thing. So why?
Hiranyakashipu is a Nitya Siddha Parshad of Krishna who came to fulfill the desire of Krishna. So you cannot compare Hiranyakashipu and Kamsa. Hiranyakashipu and Vena. We cannot do that.
Okay. Yeah, but in their way of disposition towards Krishna, Vena was completely aloof. But Hiranyakashipu was still thinking of Krishna. Was he?
Okay, any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so much for this nectarian class and about the different types of bhakti and mukti. Also, Prabhuji, I have a question, not regarding today's class, but today is the solar eclipse in USA. So please guide us. How can we observe that, or what is the significance of solar eclipse? Should we? Because here people are so much fond of say watching the solar eclipse, and they are going just the booking hotels and then going and stay there, and they're going to watch it with the glasses. So how should we as a devotee? Yeah, I remember that we don't see the solar eclipse. So please guide on that, Prabhuji.
Eclipse means Rahu Grasta. Rahu is swallowing Surya. So Surya is a devotee of Krishna, a student of Krishna, isn't it? So now he's in trouble. A devotee is in trouble. So what do? You do kirtan and pray to the Lord, protect him. Because it is Surya who protects us. So now he's in trouble. So this is a mood that Gaudiya Vaishnavas accept in the chant. They do kirtan. It's a mood of praying to the Lord that you please protect the devotee, because it is He who protects us. It is He who actually guides us. It is you are one of the eyes. Surya is one of your students. And he is Pranayata of Jyotish Shastra. It is because of his position, we are able to do different activities. The source of all the energy, Surya. So he is under trouble. So Lord, please come and help him. So by the time you did chant and the Lord Sudarshan comes, being afraid of Sudarshan, Rahu runs away. So this is what devotee should do. Seeing eclipse and all is not a philosophy. You should not see. You should not eat or drink anything during that time.
Okay, Prabhuji. So what is the reason behind that we should not eat? And I also know that we
do you want to
throw-
see a devotee being swallowed by a demon and enjoy?
yes,
So
okay,
we
Prabhuji. Got it now. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, at 2 minutes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Beautiful class. And actually, my questions are a little bit out of ignorance because I joined class little late. Clarify on these lines, Prabhuji. One, like you mentioned that Ragatmika devotees, both Ragatmika and Raganuga, both comes under spontaneous love of devotion, Prabhuji.
I did not get you. Can you repeat it?
Ragatmika and Raganuga. Raganugas are who follows the Ragatmika devotees. Will they both come under spontaneous love of devotional service practice? Or
Both are having spontaneous, but one has already attained spontaneous, not attained, it is naturally present in him, that is called Ragatmikas, Bhaktas. They don't practice, they don't attain, it's already attained. But here, Raganugas, they are doing the sadhana of practicing to follow in the footsteps of the Ragatmikas. So both, one is perfect, other is imperfect. Raganuga sadhana bhakti is also a sadhana bhakti. It is not perfection stage. It is practicing stage. Whereas Ragatmikas, they are perfected. They are not even Baddha Muktas. They are directly the manifestation of the Chit Shakti of the Lord in the spiritual world. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. So that is where my question triggered, Prabhuji, because Raganugas are sadhana bhaktas. So yeah, my general as an understanding is sadhana means not spontaneous. Is that?
No. The difference between Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga sadhana bhakti is, number one, you follow in the footsteps of the Vrajavasis or Ragatmika bhaktas, number one. Number two, you do it with greed. Greed should be there. That greed makes a Vaidhi sadhana into Raganuga sadhana. Raganuga, Anuga means what? Footsteps. Following the footsteps. So that is also sadhana. So Rupa Goswami, he includes a chapter of Raganuga Bhakti within the category of sadhana bhakti. In the second chapter of Bhakti Rasa, second wave of the eastern side of the ocean of Bhakti Rasa Amrit Sindhu. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Very clear, Prabhuji. And one more question, Prabhuji. Just these are like couple of follow-up questions, Prabhuji. Like because you mentioned one is Kamarupa and another is Sambandharupa.
Yeah.
Kamarupa is the gopis and the other Nitya Muktas like Yashoda Maya and all are Sambandharupa. So Raganugas also will be in these categories in following both the.
Yes. If you follow in the footsteps of Yashoda, then when you go to Vraja, then you will become the follower Vatsalya. You will not attain Madhurya.
Yes, Prabhuji. Next question, Prabhuji.
That bhava. According to the bhava, you attain that. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. One more question. Okay.
Yeah.
Nitya and Nityabadda, we have this concept. So far, I was with the understanding, clarify my deficiencies here, Prabhuji. Like I was thinking, Nitya Mukta means eternally liberated. Those devotees like Yashoda Maya, Gopis, those Gopa, special devotees. But Nityabaddas are like those devotees, those people who are in the material world. Yeah. So here one doubt that was there is like my initial understanding is Jiva is eternally there in spiritual world, and at one point out of free will they come to the material world because stayed here for a long time. That is why they are called Nityabaddas. But uh, uh, it is not that all the devotees who are in the spiritual world are Nitya Muktas. Like only special people like
we can discuss it offline sometime else. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this nectar class. Vanchakalpataruyasya kripa sindhuveva cha patittanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
लोचन प्रभु जी की जय।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice class.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.